All right. So in this little mini lesson, we are going to talk about, sorry, I'm trying to make it not blurry. We are going to talk about multiplying by one-digit numbers. Okay. So this can be 3 by 1 digit. It can be 2 by 1 digit. It can be really any of those, as long as you're only multiplying by one digit. Okay. So if I have an example like 13 times 3. Okay, so that's my example, 13 times 3. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm taking this 3 right here, this one-digit 3 in the ones place, and I'm multiplying it by this 3 and this 1. So, if I were to color code this, I would say 3 times 3 and also 3 times 1. So, first, I'm going to go up. 3 times 3, that is 9, and then 3 times 1 is 3. Boom, I'm finished. If I wanted to check myself using partial products, that's where it can get a little helpful as far as knowing your place value and knowing the values of a digit. So this 3 is in the ones place. If it's in the ones place, it has a value of 3. Okay? I'm multiplying it by a 3 in the ones place as well. So the value is also 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. Draw a line here. Okay, then I've got this 1, 3 in the ones place, which has a value of 3. And then I'm multiplying it by a 1. But this 1 right here is in the tens place. So that means the value of that 1 is 110, which equals 10. So my other part is 3 times 10, which I know 3 times 1 is 3. And then I place that 0, that's 30. If I add those together, I will get 39. Both of my answers match. Therefore, I've completed the problem correctly. I've both got the product of 39. Now, if I make it a little bit more difficult, and say I have a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. So, say I have a 2-digit, well, that's what I just did, 2-digit by 1-digit. So I'm moving on to 3-digit by 1-digit. Forgive me. It's been a long day, so I'm trying to get these out for you. Say I have 625 times 6. So I'm still only multiplying by 1 digit, but I'm multiplying this 1 digit by 3 different numbers, or a 3-digit number. So what I'll do is I'm going to take this number 6 and I'm going to multiply it by the 5, by the 2, and by the 6 in order to get my product. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to go 6 times 5, which is 30. So if this equals 30, I got ahead of myself. This 0 that's in the ones place is going to stay in the ones place, but 30 is compiled of 3 tens and 0 ones. So this 3 gets carried up or regrouped to above the 2. When we regroup, we do not multiply this number. We add it. So when I go over here and I start back at my 6 and I multiply to the tens place, 6 times 2, that's 12. But I have to add 3 to that 12. So if I have 12 and I'm adding 3, that's 13, 14, 15. Same thing's going to happen. This is 15, so the 5 comes down, takes the 10 spot. This 1 is regrouped into the 100s. So now when I multiply this 6 times this 6, I have to add this 1 to my product. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 1 is 37. And then I bring both of those numbers down. So my product is 3,750. If I wanted to check with partial products, same thing that I did above, I'm going to do right here. I'm going to look at the place value, the position, and the value in order to double check with partial products. So I have a 6 in the ones place, which is just 6. I have a 5 in the ones place, which is just 5. So 6 times 5 equals 30. Then I have a 6 in the ones place. That's going to stay the same. But I'm moving to the tens place. This 2's in the tens place. And 2 tens equal 20. It has a value of 20. So 6 times 20 would be my next. 6 times 20, well 6 times 2 is 12, but I have to place that 0. So really, my answer is 120, my product. Then I can do the same thing with the last 6. But look, I'm all the way over here now in the hundreds place. 6 times 600. So 6 times 600. I know that 6 times 6 is 36, but I have 2 zeros to place at the end. 1, 2. Now I can add all 3 partial products. When I do that, I should get the same answer as this one. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 2 is 5. 6 plus 1 is 7, and then I bring down my 3 because there's nothing to add to it. 3,750, 3,750, boom. I've done it correctly. Okay? So, let's do one more, and then I'm going to give you a couple of extra practice problems that you can do on your own. I'll change my color here. As you can tell, I like changing colors. So, if I have 159 times, lost my problem, bear with me, times 5. There's my problem. I'm going to do exactly like I did for this one. I'm going to multiply this 5 by the 9, by the 5, and by the 1. Okay, I may have to regroup some, and that's okay. So here, just in case I have to regroup, I'm going to put a little box above the 10 and the hundreds place. And I know that when I regroup, I have to add those numbers to the product. I don't multiply them. Okay, so let me get a different color here. So I'm going to take this 5, and I'm going to multiply it by 9. Well, 5 times 9, that's easy. Okay, that should be easy. You can count by 5s. Well, if you do that, you're going to get 45. The 5 that's in the ones place stays in the ones place. So I'm going to line it up in the ones place. This 4 right here is 4 tens. I need to move it to the tens place. So I'm going to put a 4 in the box, and this is going to be added. Okay? So now when I move on, I've done this one. Now I have to do 5 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. But I have to add that 4. 25 plus 4 is 29. So if it's 29, this 9 comes down and takes the place of the tens. And this 2 gets put in the box to be added. So now when I do 5 times 1, that's easy. Anything times 1 is itself. So 5 plus 2 is what? 5 plus 2 is 7. So my product is 795. Okay? So that's with regrouping. All right? Now sometimes you won't have to regroup. Sometimes it's easy peasy beautiful. But like in the first example, 13 times 3. But there are times when you're going to have to regroup, and whatever number is in the ones place always comes down. The number that's in the tens place always is going to go up somewhere. Might not go in the tens place. You might have to regroup it to the 100s place. But those numbers are always added. You do not multiply the numbers that you regroup. Okay? So here's some extra practice problems. If you're feeling like you need some extra practice, you can try these, and you can pause the video to complete these. 862 times 7. 478 times 2. And then we'll do 352 times 3. So if you want to take a moment to pause the video to copy these problems down and try to work them like this, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to go ahead and solve them now, so you will have the correct answer. 7 times 2 is 14, so I'm going to drop my 4, and I'm going to regroup my 1 to the tens. Okay, 7 times 6 is 42, plus 1 is 43, so my 3 is going to come down, and I'm going to regroup my 4 to be added. 7 times 8, that's 56, plus 4, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So my answer is 6,034. Next example, 2 times 8, 2 times 7, 2 times 4. I'm going to follow the same process as I did over here. 2 times 8 is 16. Well, I'm going to have to regroup. I'm going to add that 1 from my 10, because 10 plus 6 is 16. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15, so I'm going to drop my 5, and I'm going to regroup my 1 to be added. 2 times 4 is 8, plus that 1 is 9, so my product is 956. And then last, 352 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. But look, I didn't have to regroup anything right here. But I do have to regroup when I get to the 100s. So 3 times 5 is 15. This 5 is going to come down to my tens place. This 1 is going to be regrouped to the 100s, and I'm going to add it. And then 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. And I'm just going to bring that whole number down. So my answer is 1056.